Hey everyone, it's Sergeant Seawire with the Seawire Nation back with another video. Today we're going to be doing a music video talking about the retirement of Iron Maiden drummer NICKO McBrain. Now, Iron Maiden happens to be one of my favorite bands. I've been a fan of theirs since my early teens. Actually, no, going back a little bit earlier than that, when my aunt bought me my first Iron Maiden cassette, Somewhere in Time, one of my favorite albums. Seen them 6 times, seen them on this last tour. So, why is NICKO McBrain retiring? Well, back in 2023, he had suffered a stroke, leaving some of his right arm paralyzed for a short period of time. He had to go through rehab. Now, what's odd about this is all coming on the heels before the rehearsals for the Future Past tour, which was going to include 5 songs from the Somewhere in Time album and songs from their newest record. And a lot of the songs that they were playing were a lot of difficult songs, very complicated songs. The opening track from the Somewhere in Time album, the title track to the record, they haven't played that since that tour. And that's a pretty upbeat song. And they played Alexander the Great for the first time, ever. They've never played it on tour ever. This was the first tour they got to play it on, one of my favorite tracks, so I got to see it. And, you know, for a man who had some cancer back in 2020, came back from that, a stroke, was able to get back to where he could hold his drumsticks, back to about 80%, I think they said is where he was at, and start rehearsing. I mean, he sounded amazing. He did good. I mean, you could tell some of the drum fills. He didn't do a lot of his drum parts like he had done before, and a lot of that was explained. He had to do some things different due to his condition, you know, to make the songs work. So it wasn't a surprise. Well, it wasn't that he announced his retirement after the final show in Brazil of the tour. I mean, he's been in the band for 42 years. So now the question is, what does the Iron Maiden do from here? Where do they go? Well, like they always do, they already had their next drummer already lined up and announced it a day later, which tells me that this discussion between NICKO and the band had taken place prior to the tour starting. That they had already known that, you know, this was gonna be his last hurrah around. He was able to do it, but after that, it was going to be, on shaky ground. And the fact that they had already announced a next tour that's about to kick off in 2025, the Run for Your Lives tour, which I'm excited to go see. So who did they pick? A gentleman by the name of Simon Dawson. Now, Simon Dawson plays in Steve Harris's side project band, British Lion. And that's more of a straightforward rock and roll band. It's not a metal band. But there's at least 2 tracks that I heard on that record where Steve Harris went back to his Maiden writing style, and you can hear it. And the drumming is very reminiscent of Clive Burr, who played on Iron Maiden's Killers and Number the Beast album. It had that swing feel to it, definitely had that single double bass movement to it, which also NICKO was famous for, and it has a little bit of that in the feel of the drums. So why would they want the drummer from his side band? Well, he's been playing with Steve Harris for 12 years. Think about that. Steve Harris already has time in the pocket with this drummer. This drummer knows Steve. Steve knows the drummer. And as the rhythm section of the band, that's important. So they've already had time to gel. And I wouldn't be surprised if this guy has already been playing with them in rehearsals during the tour or even beforehand to see how things would feel with the whole band, because obviously this was going to be a whole band decision, which it always is with them. So judging by what I heard him play on the British Lion songs, I'm confident that this is the guy. I mean, obviously they could have gotten any drummer they wanted. I mean, they could have got the Mike Portnoy, the Dave Lombardo, they could have gotten any of those guys, but as Maiden goes, they were going to stick with a Brit. They were going to stick with someone that they knew that would gel with them, that was not only professional, not only could do the past material, but add something to the new material, which we know they're going to write a new record. It's been hinted. They haven't started writing on it yet, but it's been hinted that they're going to. So I'm excited for it, and, congratulations to NICKO for 42 years. 42 years, millions of people he's played in front of, thousands of drummers he has inspired. I'm glad I got to see him 6 times. So I'm happy for him. I know he's got other ventures coming along that he's going to be doing. So all in all, I think it's going to be a good thing. Can't complain. Iron Maiden's not done. Onward and upward, up the irons. Starting to see wire, popping smoke. See you later.